To be able to locate something that's worth thousands and thousands of dollars, but nobody else could use it, and that I could scoop it up and turn something of next to no value into significant value is a fun game to me. I love the treasure hunt. I love the build something that nobody's ever built before, and more importantly, it's a better, bigger mousetrap.
So Brian is the ultimate entrepreneur. He knows this business inside and out. He's been in it for 40 plus years. He's got all the relationships in the world. What I love is being able to come alongside of him with his passion and with his knowledge of the business and the industry to take his vision and supplement it with strategy.
So I started my career in Los Angeles, working for a company that was already in the business of selling electrical items. I became their top salesperson, and after a while I realized that I wanted to do it on my own. So I cashed in my 401k, convinced my wife to move to Portland, Oregon, and we moved up here, and I started buying electrical equipment that was coming available at auctions. Collected a lot of fuses during that time because nobody wanted to buy them, and I could buy them cheap because I didn't have a lot of money. Figured out a way to test those used and surplus fuses. But the real thing that made the business was that once I sold them, I took the profits and put it into new.
So what makes us different is that we don't follow the traditional return on investment rules. We have more on-hand inventory than anybody, and we play almost an arbitrage against the other companies that are very focused on their balance sheet and inventory and only high turn items. And somebody's going to have that need. And so we keep a tremendous amount of inventory. That's where we come in to shine.
But more importantly than fuses, what I tapped into was something called the need it now supply business model. But imagine that you live in a town of 20,000 people, and the main transformer that brings in all the electricity for your town has been hit by a lightning strike and took out 1 or 2 or 3 of the fuses.
That we are helping people in their time of need, whether it's a hospital or a city or a water treatment plant or whatever it is, that we can come in and give them the white glove treatment and get them the product they need to get everything up and running again in a very short amount of time.
So I built this company, but I didn't build it necessarily to pass it on to my children. What I want for my children is for them to do what they love. I got lucky. Not only do I do what I love, but I'm living my dream.
We were approached by a company, our now owners, a little over a year ago.
I wasn't interested in selling before talking to ASG. I wasn't interested in selling until these people said that they were going to increase the offer significantly.
Came to us with some ideas and how we might be able to fit into their into the structure of what they're building.
I was looking at a couple things that were really important to me. Number one was that the people that were working with us would keep their jobs. Number two, that the money that I was being offered would allow me to help my sons out if they decided to get into business, and would allow me to take some chips off the table finally.
So they came in and they said, look, you run a great business. We don't want to change a thing. We're not coming in here to slash and burn and make things our way. You stay in the roles that you do. We don't want you to terminate people. We want you to run the way that you've ran because you have a great business.
Which made the decision easier. And now I'm still working with the company. I'm still helping the Need It Now flourish. And I don't have the stress anymore of who's paying for this.
So now we are backed by private equity with a tremendous amount more funds than we'd ever be able to generate on our own building this business, or we could over the course of many years. Now we can get the cash injection we really need in order to be able to really put this, this business on a rocket ship and move.
Their interest was to build the biggest Need It Now resource in the industry. So my legacy of Need It Now was going to flourish.
But we're really grateful for ASG and what they brought to the table for us. They brought a calmness, they brought clarity, they brought professionalism, all things that allowed us to go into this with a great deal of confidence to something that we are unfamiliar with.
The guidance that Mike and Paul gave us, the settling influence, was to me the most important thing, because we're not in the business of selling companies.
We only get to sell the business once. And so we needed to partner with guys that we felt comfortable with, that we had the confidence in, and that could really help drive it home for us.
In that process, what we were looking for, because we really felt we had a big fish on the line, was somebody who could hold our hand and not jerk it away, but guide it. And ASG was that company.
Paul being able to broker this deal for us allowed me the time to focus on running our business and continue to do that in the midst of diligence.
Take one step forward, then the next, put your nose to the grindstone, and just keep going.
The value needed to stay there. We couldn't take 3 months off during diligence and let the business just fall apart. We had to continue to grow. We had to continue to hit numbers all the way through the close date. Paul and ASG allowed us to do that.